Chapter 1. I was 6 years old when I spotted a magnificent picture in a book about an ancient forest. The picture showed a boa constrictor in the act of swallowing a wild beast. This is what it looked like. It said in the book, "A boa constrictor swallows its prey whole, without chewing it. After this, it is unable to move and sleeps through the next 6 months. This is needed for digestion." I thought deeply about the experiences of the forest. Then, with care and a colored pencil, I succeeded in making my first drawing. Drawing number 1 looked like this. I showed my fine work to grown-ups and asked if the drawing scared them. Scared? Why? It is only a hat. But it was not a hat. It was very clearly a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. But the grown-ups need explanations for everything. So, I made another drawing showing the elephant inside the boa constrictor. Drawing number 2 looked like this. This time, the grown-ups advised me to put away my representations of a boa constrictor, be it from the inside or the outside, and instead spend my time learning geography, history, arithmetic, and grammar. That is why at 6 years of age, I gave up a promising career as an artist. Disappointed by the failure of drawing number 1 and drawing number 2. Grown-ups find it hard to understand anything on their own. And it is tiring for children to always have to explain things to them. Hence, I chose a different occupation and learned to fly airplanes. I flew all over the world and found that geography was very useful to me. I can easily distinguish China from Arizona, and such knowledge is important if you get lost in the dark. Through the years, I have encountered many people of importance and spent a great deal of time among grown-ups. However, knowing them closely hasn't much improved my opinion of them. Whenever I felt I met someone sensible, I experimented by showing him or her my drawing number 1, which I always carried with me. But no matter who it was, the answer would always be, "It is a hat." There wouldn't end any talk about boa constrictors or Asian forests or the stars. I would lower myself to their level and prattle about bridges and golf politics and neckties. Oh, how it pleased the grown-ups to have met such a logical man. Chapter 2. So, I lived by myself, with no one to talk to. Till 6 years ago, my plane came down in the Sahara Desert with a broken engine. Without a mechanic or any passengers, I ventured to perform the difficult repairs on my own. It was a matter of life and death. There wasn't enough drinking water to last a week. Miles away from civilization, I spent my first night on the sand, more lost than castaway in the middle of a vast ocean. So imagine my astonishment when a strange voice woke me the next morning. It said, "Please, could you draw me a sheep?" What? Draw me a sheep. Utterly startled, I sprang up. Blinking hard, I surveyed the area around myself cautiously. There stood an incredibly small person studying me intently. This is the best portrait I could imagine from memory. But the actual person was far more fascinating. The fault is not mine. Discouraged from becoming a painter when I was 6 years old, I only know how to draw boas from the inside and from the outside. Now this sudden vision made my eyes fall out of my head in disbelief. As you are aware, I had crash landed in the desert many miles from any habitation. Yet this fellow seemed neither weary nor astray. He wasn't even fainting from hunger or thirst or fear. He did not look like a child lost in the middle of the desert, far away from any living thing. When I finally found I could speak, I asked him, "What are you doing here? Please, could you draw me a sheep?" He repeated slowly, with care, as if this was a matter of great importance. So compelling was the situation that I could not disobey. Even though I was far removed from civilization and worried for my life, I took out of my pocket a sheet of paper and my fountain pen. Then it struck me that my studies had been centered around geography, history, arithmetic, and grammar, and I told the little man, with some irritation, that I didn't know how to draw. He answered, "No matter, draw me a sheep." But I had no experience of drawing a sheep, so I drew for him the thing I so frequently drew, the boa constrictor from the outside. And I was surprised to hear, "No, I do not want a boa constrictor with an elephant in its stomach. A boa constrictor is very dangerous and an elephant too bulky. Everything is very small where I come from. A sheep will be more suitable. Draw me a sheep." So I made this drawing. He looked at it carefully and said, "This won't do. The sheep looks ill. Draw me another." I made another drawing. My friend smiled kindly. "See yourself," he said. "It is a ram with horns, not a sheep." So I made the third drawing. "It looks ancient," he exclaimed. "I want a sheep that will live for a very long time." I was exhausted and impatient to start working on a crippled engine. So I quickly drew this. "Your sheep is inside this box," I explained. I was pleasantly surprised to see his face light up. "That is just what I wanted." "Do you think this sheep will need plenty of grass?" "Why?" "Because my world is very small." "Of course there will be enough grass," I said. "It is a tiny sheep." He bent over a drawing and looked closely. "Not too tiny. Oh, look. He has gone to sleep." And that is how I first met the little prince.